It is 5:30 on March 12th, 2026. I'm going to call this regular meeting of the Morton County Commission to order. Our first item of agendas will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll call the roll. Commissioner Zachmeyer.
Yes.
Commissioner Buckley.
Here.
Commissioner Tokash.
Here.
Commissioner Morrell.
Here.
And myself, Commissioner Boehm. All commissioners are present. We also have Auditor Roan at the front. We have Sheriff Kirkmeyer and State's Attorney Copy in the back tonight. Next, we have approval of the agenda. Are there any corrections or additions to the agenda this evening?
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the agenda as printed.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as printed. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have approval of the minutes from the February 24th, 2026 Morton County Commission regular meeting.
Mr. Chair, move that we approve the minutes from the February 24th County Commission meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the February 24th, 2026 Morton County Commission regular meeting. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner Morrell, you had bills today.
Yes, I reviewed the bills, and there was one small discrepancy where justification wasn't presented with that, so I pulled that one bill out, but all other bills were good. So make a motion to approve all other bills as reviewed.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the monthly bills as presented, bills and payroll, excuse me. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Morrell?
Yes.
Commissioner Tokash?
Yes.
Commissioner Buckley?
Yes.
Commissioner Zachmeyer?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Motion carries. All right, with that, we will move into the agenda tonight. First up, we have Mr. Bill Ingleter from the Morton County Historical Society. Come right to the mic there, Bill. Let's see if the mic is, John, is the mic on for him? Okay, thank you. You might want to pull it down just a little bit, Bill. There you go.
I'm not used to using a mic.
That's right.
Usually at meetings where I gotta scream across the thing, and sometimes I can be loud enough so everybody can hear, but I'll speak into the mic. First thing on the agenda, I want to thank the Morton County Commission for the support that they have given to the historical societies in the county. I want to give a little update so that you kind of know what has transpired and how we kind of operated, Probably for the last 3 years, our Morton County Board has been basically members of each of the historical societies in the county. There's 7 of us. This county is unique compared to other counties across the state. I don't think you'll ever find another county that has that many historical societies involved. And they represent their cities and the farmers in the community because they support that. So one of the things that we have done since COVID and so forth, we have basically one meeting a year, and it's a picnic, a potluck picnic, because in the communities we've had problems trying to find places to hold a meeting for 30 or 40 people where there was service. So we've gone to a potluck meeting and so forth. And we also have that meeting, that same meeting as our annual meeting, and that's where we re-elect our board members. And when we re-elect our board members, we try to make sure that we have at least 2 representatives from each of the societies on that on the board. And the sole purpose of that is so that when we meet, we can share ideas between the different societies and so forth, so that if Elmont's doing something unique for their museum and their community and so forth, someone else could adapt to that, you know. And that way we can share. You know, things change and so forth. The boards in each of the societies change on a yearly basis and so forth, depending on people that are interested and involved in their community. Valuation. The Railroad Museum, and I've been involved with that for 40-some years, since we started. We got over $1 million worth of property up there, number one. Next in line is probably New Salem, has the best museum in the county. And you're probably aware, there's probably, I'm guessing, 700,000 or more, okay? Almont, 400,000. Hebron, 400,000. Glen Ellen, probably 200. And Flasher, 200. They're the smallest of that, except the Mandan Historical Society. The Mandan Historical Society is a part of the Railroad Museum up there, and we have an agreement. You know, they got one of the Tossevin families to donate $25,000 to help put up a joint building between us, and it was the building of the Railroad Museum, and we executed a lease with them, a 99-year lease for $500. So they pay us, which basically covers our utilities and expenses and so forth, you know. So the funds that each of the societies get help them maintain their museums with regard to insurance, you know, taking care of the grounds and so forth, and guarantees that and so forth. So we appreciate that those funds continue from year to year. And they have been continuing. The Morton County Historical Society started in 1973. That's 50-some years ago. And I was a part of it, believe that. I've been involved over 50 years. There was certain periods of time that I wasn't on the board and so forth. You know, other people were on the board and so forth. I kind of took a vacation or whatever you want to say. But I've been involved with it. And then about 6 years ago, the president says, hey, I got to give it up. She was from New Salem and stuff. Bill, you want to take it? Yeah, I guess so. So I've been president of the Morton County Historical Society. I've been president of the North Dakota State Railroad Museum for probably 26 or 27 years of the 40 years. I've been involved with the Mandan Historical Society since it started, and that was back in 73 or 74 or 5. You know, I can't, that date I can't put a figure on. But I'm the treasurer there, so you know I'm involved with that one too. So when Bill Ingleter leaves, they're going to have to find somebody else to do all my responsibilities. So what happens is the mill levy that you levy and so forth goes to our treasurer, and then in our budget period in May, after most of the funds are in, it's distributed between the societies in the county. Years ago, when it got started in that process and so forth, there was 7 divisions, 5 historical societies, and the Railroad Museum. The Railroad Museum got twice as much as the others, and that was based on the population basis in the county versus in the other areas and so forth in relation to it. And since the Mandan Historical Society is up there, we share a small portion of that with them. So they get part of our thing. Things that have changed since we started years ago. It used to be that we had to be affiliated with the State Historical Society, so that if one of the societies would close their doors, all the artifacts and stuff would be transferred to the State Historical Society. And thanks to Ray Morrell, he sent me this packet of letter that kind of had the information in there that now the society that goes under, they can transfer their stuff to another museum, not to the Historical Society. They didn't want it. You know, they got enough stuff and junk. Or dispose of it and so forth and whatever. And that's one of the issues that we'll probably talk about at our next meeting, is what happens if one of these museums close up. You know, I got some ideas to toss around and so forth. But the philosophy probably would be that would go, if things were all sold, it would probably end up going back to the city council or the city's benefit and so forth. So the city would be beneficiaries of any funds and so forth. It's just an idea that I kind of thought about, you know, since I started and decided to come visit with the meeting to thank you guys and so forth. A lot of things have run through my mind. I don't know if I'll be here next year or the year after, or whatever. You know, when you get up to be 82, you know, you're testing time and so forth. So, got to take it day by day. I'm open to any questions that anybody might have, you know, with regard to the Morton County Historical Society. Or if you have questions with regard to the Railroad Museum, I could answer some questions there because I'm familiar with that.
Commissioners, have any questions for Bill?
Mr. Chair, not so much a question, but just adding on to what Mr. Ingleter had mentioned is, of course, portfolio holder for the Historical Society. Haven't been able to hit every one of the meetings through the course of the last 6 years since I've been on the commission. But anyway, supporting their efforts. But he referenced a packet. Yes, I sent out a packet to all the board members. It's been an ongoing discussion between the board and myself as we, as county commissioners, work on making sure that our entities are compliant with the law. So again, working with the Historical Society in the exact same regard, getting the copies of the existing bylaws, so make sure that the organization is functioning in accordance with the bylaws. And if they're not, either the bylaws change or the association changes, whatever the case is. But you know, that's a process that comes into play. But again, working with the association for total compliance with, again, like every one of our other entities. So it's been an ongoing. I actually requested a special meeting for the Historical Society to address that between now and April 1. So I'll be reaching out to the rest of the members, getting that one scheduled up too. Bill, I mentioned that in that letter too, if you remember that. But again, working with our Historical Society, because it is an important piece of retaining our history, retaining our legacy as Morton County and as the citizens and the settlers and farmers and ranchers all the way through our entire lifestyle.
So, yeah, I got a packet of that, you know, and there was two issues that kind of raised in there, and one of them was, you know, kind of a positive, you know, he raised the issue of the sunshine laws that became effective and so forth. And he made reference to the fact that Emmons County had gone before, you know, been called before the Attorney General and so forth. And I think he reflected that in his letter and so forth. And what he has done, rather than just ask questions and to get answers, he's demanding stuff just like the person did in the Emmons County thing. They requested some special documents. Well, Mr. Morrell said he was at the meeting in August of 2026. In my letter, it's what it says, 2026. number one.
Nope.
Okay? He asked for documents concerning our filing with the state Secretary of State with regard to the nonprofit thing. That's a public record that you could check anytime that you want to do. He also asked about our filings with the IRS. That's another thing that we do every year. And he could have just asked, hey, Bill, do you guys do that? You know? No, he sent it all to all the members of our society, and they don't know what to think about it. This packet was just thick. They don't understand what it's all about, and don't how it applies to them or whatever. So I really have some problems that he did that. Then he requested a meeting, a special meeting, to discuss these compliance issues. Well, compliance issues and so forth is there and so forth. And the other thing that he made reference to is that, and that he has made reference to in August, was the county board or county commissioners have to approve our election. And I kept asking, and I said to him down in Flasher, I says, show me the law that shows that that you have the right to do that. We are a nonprofit, separate organization. So we're not a part of the county operation. You know, you guys don't organize us. We organize ourselves. You know, and when in his letter, he asked for a meeting, and he says that that's one of the issues you're going to discuss. He never provided any information that I requested him in August to show statutory thing that you guys have the power to appoint our board. You know? You know, that bothers me. And it bothers me too when he discussed it down there.
But we do that, Bill, with the other boards. The Fair Board, they pick their members, or they don't pick. They send us members that we approve. Okay? So we do the final approval on the Fair Board. We do that, I think, with the Housing Authority.
Task Force, or I'm sorry, the Housing.
With
Housing
all
Authority,
of our boards.
The Weed Board.
Well, we're not part of your board.
Mr. Chair, if I may, when the Historical Society is funded through county tax monies,
It has nothing to do with it.
it is appointed by the county.
You guys-
And Mr. Chair, if I may, this is the packet that was sent out.
Hang
Mr.
on,
Engleton.
Bill.
This is the packet that was sent out, and it was identified in your packets as well, not in the full details, but this is the copy of the Attorney General's Open Records Manual, which mandates the laws.
All that did was talk about the
Mr. Engleton, if you will please allow me. This is a copy of the checklist that all public entities that are receiving public funds, like mill levies, such as the Historical Society, this is a checklist that they have to comply with for open records laws. This is a statement of opinion from the Attorney General's office when the Emmons County Historical Society was petitioned for information, when the Historical Society itself was petitioned for information that the Historical Society chose not to disclose. That person petitioned the Attorney General's office, and that's what this document here entails. This was also included in that packet, and that proves that the Historical Society is a public entity that will comply with the Sunshine Laws. Also as a copy of email correspondence between our HR director through an outside attorney that verifies that Morton County as a home rule charter has the authority over all of our entities because we have oversight. Also included is a Chapter 11-11 from the North Dakota Century Code that identifies the roles of the Board of County Commissioners, as well as Chapter 44-04, which identifies duties and records of meetings
I know, but you
also
never
required in
provide
accordance with.
any copies of the state laws that says that.
That's what these two documents are.
All you did is made reference to a couple sections and so forth, and that's it. You know, how do you expect us to even respond to it? You know? And you expect us to call a meeting to people that don't give a crap about whatever you're talking about.
Well, that's very unfortunate if that is the case, Mr. Ingleter.
Well-
But again, the request has been made to the Historical Society at that, I apologize for the typo of August 2026 versus 2025, that was my error. But again, emphasizing that, as I mentioned at that meeting, I want to work with the Historical Society, but when members want to debate it, then that's when I will come in.
With the statutory
Mr. Ingleter, that is what
You
was,
haven't done that yet to this date.
that is what was in your
No, it
packet,
isn't in there.
Mr. Chair.
Yep.
It isn't in there at all.
Mr. Copy, I know, we do appoint the boards. When there's mill levies involved, that is correct, right?
Correct.
There's, I'm trying to find it in Century Code. For instance, there's some boards that in Century Code says the county appoints, and the county has control over the mill levy. There's some that we don't appoint. So I don't know where the Historical Society falls in that. I haven't found anything on Century Code. I'm looking right now.
But they do receive mill levy money.
They do receive mill levy money, but so does the soil conservation, and we have no control over them. So depending on how Century Code says it, I don't know.
Okay. And Mr. Copy, we're dropping this in your lap without having a chance to look. I get that.
Yeah.
So if you knew, that would be the question.
And again, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's a broad question.
Yeah.
And again, Mr. Chair, just like any organization, it's identified in your bylaws. And I'm trusting, the bylaws have probably not been updated since who knows how long back.
Well, I'll tell you about the bylaws, okay? They were established 50 years ago, okay?
And they need
So
to be
the
updated.
period of time, different boards and so forth, we decided, we're not gonna do this anymore, so we make a motion not to do it. Do they make reference specifically saying we're changing the bylaws? Probably not, because, they don't have any legal expertise that are helping them. And so the bylaws have changed over the period of time to what I explained to you, what we do right now, just have our one meeting and distribute the funds and so forth. And that's been done for the last probably almost 20 or 30 years, the same. Now, if you want me to hire me at $25 an hour according to the sunset law to do research that it might cost 200 or 300 hours to dig everything out and try to put it together. And then I might not be able to because people that pass the packets on from president to president, pass on what they have and so forth, and things are lost and not there. So we don't have a documentation or a place that we call our own, that we have our own facilities. The documents have followed as each president and so forth.
This conference will now be recorded.
Mr. Chairman, could I?
Yes.
Could I make a comment?
Tokash. Or Lacey, are we good?
Yeah, we were in the wrong meeting, so half is in the park board meeting, and now the other half will be.
Okay.
in the commission.
We'll piece it together.
Yep.
Okay.
We got it. Thank you. Okay, Commissioner Tokash.
Mr. Ingleter, with all due respect, I view this as two separate issues right now. One, Mr. Copy, or State's Attorney, will be looking into the actual legal aspect of it,
Well,
compliance.
that would be good, if it was explained to me, then we could have discussed it.
Okay,
What was necessary.
okay, so
And then
one,
I could have passed it on as something that our board would have had to
Yep.
be responsible to do.
can I continue here?
That has never been presented to us before.
Yep, can I continue? Okay, one aspect, the way I view it is the legal aspect, and that will be determined, so. But the other part, you had mentioned it earlier about, you're proud of the state historical societies, or the county historical societies, and the different museums, and I view that as, you want as many people as you can to experience that, correct?
Pardon?
You want as many people to come and visit those museums as can be, correct?
I know how many people come to the Railroad Museum. I do not know who attends the other ones.
Okay.
They're responsible for their own.
Okay, I'll just say it from my point of view, that I'd like to see as many people as can visit those museums. So what we're trying to do as a county here, and the boards I've got in my portfolio, I'm trying to do the same thing and say, let's not only be compliant with state law because we have to, but let's be compliant with state law because we want to. And so that means open meetings laws, that means or following open meetings laws, and trying to get the public as engaged as possible with all of this stuff. And so that there's some clear direction out there that we should be following. And even if it's not a legal requirement, that'll get settled. But even if it isn't, I'm on board with saying, why not do this? Why not try to comply with?
So one thing that I want to offer as unique with regard to, I think, all our museums and so forth, and particularly the Railroad Museum. The Railroad Museum does not charge a penny. Anybody that wants to come to our museum, doesn't cost them a penny at all. You go to other museums around and so forth, whatever, hey, up to Lewis and Clark thing, $8.50 for adults and whatever, it's like, and then the other thing that I want to express is, we do not have any paid individuals manning our museums. We have volunteers, totally volunteers. And I myself, I probably spend 200 to 300 hours a year volunteering.
And that's why you get mill money, is to keep those buildings up and keep those things going,
Yeah.
which comes with some strings for open records laws and maintaining your bylaws.
Yeah.
That's the string that comes with the money.
And Mr. Chairman, one of the things also that I'm dealing with the situation right now with some bylaws, and if they're not amended and changed in a formal manner, you really don't have any bylaws after a while. It's,
What you can do, and the thing is, I just did it with the Historical Society, because over the period of the last 3, 4, 5, 10 years or whatever, this secretary, every time somebody quit, they eliminated that position. They didn't replace it. And they haven't called an annual meeting to replace them, okay? So that means in the interim, and then they eliminated a position on the board and so forth. And we got down to 7 people, okay, from 11. It's really hard to get people involved, if they could get involved with the museum and so forth. They might have some interest, but if they're on the board, they feel more enhanced to do something positive for the museum,
And your board's not the only one that's that way, though, Bill.
What I just did, with regard to most of bylaws and so forth, you just can make a whole set of new bylaws, what you're applying to, and have the board approve them. If that's necessary, that we need to do with regard to our society, our Morton County Historical Society, that would be real simple to do.
And Mr. Chair, that is the exact dialogue I offered to that board. However, Mr. Ingleter chooses to interpret it, that's his opinion. But that exact approach, if your bylaws are not current, then let's make them current.
Well,
I can help write bylaws. I've written bylaws.
Well,
And if your operating procedures are not the way that you're actually operating, you are not in compliance with the IRS. And the IRS can take your 501c3 status away. Yes, they can. Yes.
Can you provide me any laws saying that we've been filing N,
990N.
Which means that
Yep.
we're $50,000.
Yep.
And it's a postcard thing
Yep.
every year with regard to our
Yes,
societies.
and also with a 501c3, you are required by the IRS to comply with this, and it's part of that 26-page application form that you submit with the IRS for the 501c3. Mr. Angleton, let's take this to another meeting, okay? But again, what I offered you and the board is the assistance, my expertise to help guide the Historical Society to better set their foundation for tomorrow.
Well, then.
And that's why I asked for that meeting, so we can start the discussion for that.
What you can do, then you come visit with me.
I have, Mr. Ingleter, several times, and that's why I went to the full board.
And then you can draft them and present.
It goes to the full board. As a board member of that organization, I take it to the full board. Mr. Ingleter, we'll take that up at the next meeting.
If you're elected.
That's fine.
You know, you might not be elected.
That's fine.
You know?
That's fine.
You might have-
I still hold the portfolio.
Huh?
I still hold the portfolio until the commission chooses different, so I'll still be able to support the
The
organization.
reason that over the past several years, in the 30 years that why we've always had a representative on our board is to keep the county commission informed with regard to our spending and so forth. You know, if you want to lose that benefit, you know, then you don't get it, you know? So, we like to have somebody that supports us, not agitating us, you know?
Mr. Ingleton, I believe that Commissioner Morrell is trying to support you. We're trying to guide you and your group on compliance with Century Code.
Yeah, you know, I just had my board members, I asked them, I said, bring your packet to me. I looked at it and it was so much reading and garbage and so forth that didn't apply and so forth. He just threw it in the garbage can, you know? You got it, you know, he could have asked two basic questions. Do we fight with the IRS? Are we up to date? Are we up to date with the state? And the thing is, I just filed before February 1st with regard to the state of North Dakota. update.
The Secretary of State, yep.
Yeah, I just followed the current one, and we're up to date. And I'm classified as a registered agent.
But as Commissioner Morrell said, if you don't follow what the IRS says to get that 990, the ability and the privilege of being able to do that 990 with your 501c3, you have to follow their rules. And their rules are to have the bylaws and everything in place. That's what he's trying to update.
To help you
Okay.
update.
And work with you to do that. He says he's offering to help you update those,
He
and
needs
that's
to
fine.
work with me as a president so that I can present it to the board. He doesn't need to present it to the board, you know, to have them confused with regard and
Okay.
don't understand what's going on.
Okay.
You know, and taking up their volunteer time,
Okay.
okay?
Do
I
we,
had no problem with it. If he would've asked me, I would've told him what we did and I could've provided him copies, you know?
okay.
You know, but he didn't do that. He sent a letter packet this thick and threatened all our board members that, hey, these things.
Mr. Chair, there's an opinion that is non-factual.
Well, we got.
There is not a threat in here at all.
Ask my,
Mr. Ingleter, again, we'll gladly discuss this at the next Historical Society meeting. And I've asked several times, please bring a copy of the bylaws. I've mentioned it to you independently, I mentioned it to you at the meetings, I mentioned it to you in the form of a letter.
you know. under
Please bring the bylaws.
Under the sunshine laws, I can say that I do not have a current thing. To create a current thing, it would take 200 hours at $25 an hour.
Then again, we could help create a new set.
Well, then you have to provide me with that fund, paid for those expenses and so forth. Are you willing to do that?
I will help you create a new set. We can discuss this at the next Historical Society meeting.
Well, before we do, you need to visit with me.
That's fine, I got your telephone number, that's fine.
Okay.
That would work, you know?
And then we'll still ask,
Any
I
other
will still ask
questions?
Mr. Copy to just kind of clarify that if he can. And, I mean, you don't have to have it tomorrow, but if you can clarify that, where the Historical Society sits in there, then we'll have that information also. Okay?
Well, my question would be that, you know, if it was that you have the right to appoint us, why wasn't it done when that law was passed? Okay?
You know what, some of the commissions have just followed through and others haven't. That's just the way it works.
Anything else? Any other questions?
No, anybody else have any
Thank you.
questions?
You know, And I want to thank you for the Railroad Museum, because I don't know if you are familiar, but the property, the 5 acres that we have up there is in the Morton County's name. Do you know that?
My grandkids and I have been up there. I did not know that.
Okay, and the thing is that to use for museum purposes only.
Okay.
You know? So if we buy them up, the property goes back to the owners. Okay? So hopefully you'll keep us going so that we don't have to give up the property.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Engelder.
Thank you. And Mr. Chair, again, just to reiterate, the actual letter itself is included in the Commissioner's packet, which is also available online, so anyone can read that letter and see that there is indeed not any threats in that letter whatsoever.
All right. Barb?
Hello, Chairman
Bet this
Bain,
is quiet.
fellow commissioners, and County Auditor Roan. Last week I had done governor, so I don't know, threw that out. I'm here for a couple of reasons. Number one is just to kind of talk about passport services at our library and throughout the county, because there are some changes. There's also some clarifications that I need to share with you and share with fellow residents. The next is we have just some other news that is happening, really positive and good news that I want to share with you. So about passport services, I don't know if you have heard, but there was headline in the news, like 1,400 at least libraries who were considered nonprofits were being stopped or ordered to stop processing passports applications throughout the country. And so we had numerous phone calls about that, wondering if we were one of them, because they consider us nonprofit. Well, the citizens consider us that. But I just want to reassure you guys, as well as the residents, that we are not affected by this ruling. In fact, because we are governed, or we are funded by the city and the county, we meet the federal requirements. So we are able to continue with our passport services without any interruption at all. We have, since we got a call from the regional passport office in December, the end of December, and were asked if there was any way that we could do more, because I believe the county recorder's office, who does them here, and also in Burleigh County, they're maxed out. And so if there was a way we could do more, they would appreciate it. So we have gone from 5 agents up to 8. Now we have changed from having 2 days of appointments. As of January 20th, we changed that to going Monday through Friday appointments. And then we still do our second Saturday of the month for walk-ins. And we have at least 5 people on duty, 5 agents are on duty. So it has increased unbelievably. At first I thought maybe we would just spread those appointments out between the 2 days. No, that we went from 75 to 97 between the two time periods. As of now, we have done, well, I should say at the end of February, we have processed 172 passports. That's different from last year at the same time. That was 115. We've done 196 photos for passports this year as well. And we are also going out to Glen Ullin the May 2nd to do a passport Saturday out there. I am not quite sure yet what the exact time frame or the time period of that day is going to look like, but just wanted you to be aware that that will be happening. Our other sales from our services that we provide, we are up over 6,000 from last year. That's copying, printing, faxing, all of those kinds of things. Any questions about passports
And
at all?
reiterate, we haven't, as you told us at our last meeting, really pushed the rental on the rooms. That
Right.
hasn't even come into effect yet.
That is not even come into effect yet, no. So, yeah. We are hopping around there. Some other news that I just wanted to share with you is you may be aware that Halliday now has a public library. It is in their former school. They had an open house, I think it was around the 23rd of February, and so we had 4 of our library staff go out. It is unbelievable what they have chosen to do with that little space. Just very thoughtful, and they are now part of our Central Dakota Library Network, and just very gracious, have great ideas, working very closely with neighboring Beulah in providing services in Courier. So we're going to make it a goal that some of our other staff goes around to those libraries in our central network, just so that they can see, get ideas, and just meet. And sometimes they find that they have more in common than what they think. You know, they think we're big, so it's just good to have that conversation. The next thing that I want to have you set aside, if you can at all, is on March 31st. There's going to be an open house. Mandan Little Learners has started a play lab, and it is on 5th Street, and I'm not from Mandan at all, so it's where by the old football field. Does that make sense?
Down there.
Yep.
Is at just west, I think, of Public Works. And
Yep.
but we are having an open house. We're going to be having some special guests at 11:30, and a very special announcement is going to be made as well. So I will send invites through the email to you guys, but I just wanted to place that in your minds. Next, I want you to know that with the Tourism Makerspace Hub, that is the former Rice Bowl, we put out a notice for requests for architectural and engineering firms, and we have gotten 4 packets. They were due yesterday, and so have not yet looked through. If you are interested in looking what their designs are, I will gladly send out a copy. You just have to make sure you are the only ones who see it, but I will share that with you, so I would love your feedback. And I think that's all I have, unless you guys have questions for me.
Commissioners, any questions for Barb?
Other than just continued great work.
Yeah, it's flying along in there pretty quick now.
Yeah. I do appreciate the updates, and
Thank you.
you're doing a great job there.
We got great
And I-
people
and I don't
working with
think
us
I've-
and leading us, so yes,
I don't think I've missed giving them an update each month either, so we're good.
I know. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Lingle, I think you're up next.
This special guest, ASA Klein. So, sorry, I'm just gonna adjust that upward a little. So first sub-piece is both Mr. Klein and I have been accepted to, thankfully, separate ADEP courses. So for those of you who were here back in 2023, a number of our assistant state's attorneys at the time got accepted to go to Hoover, Alabama for digital evidence for prosecutors courses. This is the advanced digital evidence for prosecutors courses, so digs more into computer examinations, phone examinations, social networking, site comparisons, those sorts of computer operating system deep dives. So again, this doesn't cost the county any money out of its budget. It is already budgeted through the social services, not social services. Oh my God. Secret Service, that one. Sorry, my brain's doing great this week.
Those are a little different there,
Slightly,
Chase.
social service, Secret Service, just opposite ends of the same
Yeah.
coin. But, so it's already paid for through
Okay.
United States taxpayer expenses. So my dates are April 19th of this year through April 24th of this year. John's are in September. So August 30th, 2026 through September 4th of 2026. We're just seeking authorization for travel so that it becomes clearly work-related in case, God forbid, anything happened to us. And then the other item is ASA Klein's travel to Tennessee for the RISE 26 drug court conference. I believe he attended last year as well. ASA Richard before him has attended that conference. It is immeasurably beneficial not only to the county but also to the South Central Judicial District. Attached to the packet is Judge Nesvig's letter recommending that he attend. The fiscal impact is already being taken care of as part of our budget items, so we're not seeking any additional expenditures here. We're just, again, seeking authorization for travel so that, again, if anything were to happen, it's clearly work-related. Any questions from any of the commissioners on any of those three items?
Indeed. Commissioners? No. John, do you have anything you want to pipe in instead of let Chase talk the whole time?
So I was able to attend All Rise last year in Orlando, and it was a fantastic conference to go to. I know this year they have over 250 separate, anywhere from 45-minute to 2-hour talks given across the whole spectrum, from treatment providers, from the judicial aspect, for prosecutors, for defense attorneys. We get the chance to talk with and interact with our peers from across the U.S. I know they have some international guests as well. It's a super great conference to go to. I really enjoyed it last year. I learned a lot and look to learn a lot again this year.
Okay. All right, commissioners? We gonna let these guys go or not?
Take these one at a time?
I think yeah, because they're all different dates. We'll take them one at a time.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve out-of-state travel for Attorney Chase Lingle to attend the Advanced Digital Evidence for Prosecutors Court at the NCFI in Alabama from April 19th, 2026 through April 24th, 2026.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved to allow Assistant State's Attorney Chase Lingle to attend the Advanced Digital Evidence for Prosecutors Court. As the rest was stated, is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Chase gets to go. Now we got to decide on John.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve out-of-state travel for Attorney John Klein to attend the Advanced Digital Evidence for Prosecutors Court in NCFI in Alabama from August 30th, 2026 through September 4th, 2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to allow Assistant State's Attorney John Klein to attend the Advanced Digital Evidence for Prosecutors Court. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve out-of-state travel for Attorney Klein to Nashville, Tennessee to attend the RISE 26 conference.
I'll second that one as well.
It's been moved and seconded to allow Assistant State's Attorney John Klein to attend the RISE 26 conference. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Mr. LaFleur. We have a few abatements tonight. Not too many.
Yeah, not too many. They're all homestead abatements, so I just have them grouped by location. So the first one's up are abatements 7187 through 7189. These are all for mobile homes. They're from the same homeowner going back to 24. So we have 24, 25, and then the most current year, 26.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve abatement number 7187 for 2024, 7188 for 2025, and 7189 for 2026 for homestead tax credit.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve homestead abatement 7187 for 2024, 7188 for 2025, and 7189 for 2026. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, next one up are abatements 7190 through 7193. These are for Morton County. There's 3 different homeowners in here. One of the homeowners has 24 and 25. The other 2 are just for 25.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve abatement number 7190 for 2025, 7191 for 2025, 7192, 2024, 7193, 2025, homestead tax credits for Morton County.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve abatement 7190 for 2025, 7191 for 2025, 7192 for 2024, and 7193 for 2025 for Morton County homestead abatements. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and the final 3 are for the city of Mandan. They are 7194 through 7196. 7194 is for 2024. The other 2 are for 2025.
Mr. Chair, motion to approve abatement number 7194 for 2024, 7195 for 2025, 7196, 2025 for the City of Mandan homestead tax credit abatements.
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded to approve abatement 7194 for 2024, excuse me, 7195 for 2025, and 7196 for 2025. Homestead abatements in the city of Mandan. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. LaFleur. Mr. Psyche, Road Commission grant.
Yes, good evening, Commissioners and Auditor Roan. I'm here before you requesting approval to submit an application for a grant from the Ag Department. It's another one of those where there's a lot of papers, but it's just the supporting papers. It's not a complicated item. So last fall, the Highway Department became aware of a plan to expand a feedlot owned by Dime Time Feeders LLC on County Road 83 from the current capacity of 2,000 head of cattle to 5,000 head of cattle. With that, there will be an anticipated increase in truck traffic as well as requirements for additional maintenance and dust. There was always dust in the past, so there would no doubt be a lot of dust. The Highway Department, with the assistance of Interstate Engineering, has developed a plan as well as a grant application to assist in paying for this project. The project would be something similar to what we did on County Road 82 several years back, which County Road 82 is the landfill road. And what we did there was we reshaped the inslopes and shaped the road, put the crown back in, and added what is called Base 1. And by doing that and stabilizing that whole gravel road for County Road 82, we went from blading it typically once a week to twice a year. So it was very, very effective. So there would be a plan similar to that. And what we found out about this grant, and where Interstate has assisted with the completion of the application, and the grant would be, if we're successful, $1,250,000 maximum, or 80% of the project. So we set this project up as roughly $1.5 million, with Morton County contributing approximately 20%. This whole project will be 7 miles long, so it's quite a bit involved in it. And the Road Commission's been involved. They've been providing guidance and information and input for both the grant application as well as the project. So in your packet, you have a copy of the grant application. You have letters of support, and there's another letter of support that is to be signed by Chairman Boehm and then the chairman for the Road Commission, which is Commissioner Tokash. And with that, there will be some fiscal impacts. The $312,000, we can take that out of our road stabilization line item because that's typically the type of work that comes out of there. And so we would use it for this project as opposed to doing it, using that money for another project. And the same thing, we can get the balance, if successful, out of a portion of the gravel, since we would be providing gravel at, no doubt, through some time in completing this. So hopefully we can get this submitted and we can have it reviewed and acted upon favorably. And with that, I'd be open to any questions you may have.
Commissioners, any questions? I do have one, if you guys.
Go ahead.
So if you look at that map, and I grew up on that road, so I drove that all the time. You go 1 mile and 1/10 north, and there's that hill that keeps getting wet and sliding because there's springs on the east side.
Mm-hmm.
And it runs under there and it destroys that road in wet periods. Has that been behaving? I haven't been out there when it's real wet.
Yeah, it hasn't been a real problem, but then we haven't had a real wet summer or spring so over the last several years. So that's probably something we could look at, and maybe we have to put, like we did further. Are you talking just north of the interstate, or are you talking way further north?
There's 1 mile north, just right there, and then at that corner by Bly's corner, and then the next one by the church corner is real bad too.
And that one that's just 1 mile north, that's the one that back in, I think it was 2019 or 2020.
Yep.
We had that significant
That whole thing
failure. Yeah, but we put a whole under drain system there, and then reconstructed that, and it's been very stable.
It's been good
since then. And
the other one's that side hill right after the church corner.
Yeah,
going up.
And that one we have not addressed. That may be something if we can look at, but
bad spot. Okay, just wondering because those would be. You know, you're putting this down, you're going to want to make sure those hold up on you so that you're not having to fix them.
And you know, for that first one just north of the interstate, we haven't had any issues.
Good.
Anything more than what we would normally have for a gravel road as far as maintenance.
Okay. Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, a quick comment. We did have a pretty good discussion about this during the Road Commission meeting, and question was posed, are we just chasing grant money and spending additional county dollars to do that? And no, that's not the case. We know we're going to have significant maintenance costs with this road with the increased truck traffic. So anyone that is online or listening, or we had a pretty deep discussion on that, and this is a net improvement in our costs for the county if we can land this grant. So,
but put it to use, and I know that the grant is going through the Ag Department.
It's Ag Department, yes.
I know, talking to one of the people in the marketing side, they said they've been getting a few grants there, so we do want to get it in and have it right if we want to get the funding there.
Correct, and that's why when this all came up, Maria Tomac, the interstate, she was attending one of the county commission meetings, and she said that interstate has a grant writer, and that's, at the time, we thought we had a much tighter time frame to get this complete, and I knew there's no way I could be able to write an effective application, so that's why, one of the reasons why we engaged interstate to help us with that.
I was going to say, because the grant is well written,
so
whoever did it. And it is a challenge to write a good grant sometimes.
Yes.
One couple mistakes and you're done when there's a lot of them out there. So, okay. Any other comments or questions? Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, the Road Commission did recommend approval as well.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Yes.
Like Commissioner Tokash said, the net gain over time is what you have to look at on this one. It's just gonna be way less maintenance.
Right, right.
Makes sense.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to approve the submission of the North Dakota Department of Ag Infrastructure Grant application and signing the letter of support for the proposed project on County Road 83, north of Interstate 94.
Second.
Okay. Looking for the, all right, it's been moved and seconded. Let me write this. To approve the submission of the North Dakota Department of Agriculture Infrastructure Grant application and signing the letter of support for the proposed project on County Road 83 north of Interstate 94. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
With that, I would thank you, and I also want to thank everyone, whether it's the road commission or the full commission, for all your support for all of our projects through all the years, so, thank you.
Do you have a clean copy along tonight, John?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Next we have Auditor Roan.
Nothing.
Nothing for you? Okay. And then, I guess we move into the public comment period as required by North Dakota Century Code 44-04-20.1. I will open the public comment period at 6:32. Is there any comment from within the room? Any public comment from in the room? I'll come back to that. Is there any public comment online? Any public comment online? Last call for both online and in the room. Any public comment? I don't see any microphones turning off and no hands being raised, so I will close the public comment period, and it is still 6:32. All right. Commissioners, have anything else good for the order?
Motion to adjourn.
Been moved to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We're adjourned.